I see this in the forums coming up all the time about competing prices and the value that we bring and how we're still charging the same prices for home inspections that we were 20 years ago. So there's a smorgasbord of information out there of everyone saying we need to raise price, yet nobody's raising price. And as a matter of fact, in some markets, it seems like some people are trying to race to the bottom. Like who can charge the least and still make it to Christmas? So I think some of the guys are missing the boat on looking to see whether they're a technician or an actual business owner and analyzing the profit that their business is making and going, why don't I charge X for X and sell more of it and still make a profit where everybody wins? In my small market, it's limited information. What do you see across the country when these conversations are taking place?
So what I see with home inspectors when they talk about price, they are always racing to the bottom of the standards. Always. It's talking about liability and reduction of liability where, when you reduce your liability, when you reduce what you're actually accomplishing for the client, you reduce your opportunity. You can't have it both ways. And we focus on that way too much. And then we sit around in rooms and say, gosh, we know so much. We should be rewarded for this education, for this experience level that we're not willing to really give. And we have to give first. So that's one aspect of things. For any inspector out there that says, gosh, I want to offer my clients less than the other guy. I don't want to cover a furnace problem after they move in. I don't want to protect them from roof leaks for 5 years, but I want to be worth more or the same as this other guy in the client's eyes. I think you're delirious. That's a bad business decision. Now, that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is, when inspectors look at price, they tend to look at it very two-dimensionally. They say, what's your price for a 1,500 square foot house? And it's $250, it's $350, it's $450, or I don't leave my house for less than $500. And they forget to look at one thing, the one number that really matters. How much did they make by the end of the year? What was their profit margin? So we look at how much did we charge for an inspection, but we didn't look at ancillary services. We didn't look at the inspection as a method by which to get in front of a client to sell ancillary services, to sell into upgraded packages, to have an average fee per stop that is very, very high potentially, but also delivers a whole bunch of value for the client. Rather, we focus on the two-dimensional thing. And we want people to pay us because we're worth it, because we're so educated and experienced and all this. That's not how consumers are going to act. And you're never going to have anybody respect you for that. If somebody really wanted to get paid a lot for stopping by a house and doing some consulting and looking around, gosh, I should be charging, $15,000 an hour for that. I've handled 250,000 mechanical claims. You want to learn a lot about mechanical systems? Start paying for their repairs when they come up. I've produced over 15,000 inspection reports typed by hand in FileMaker 3.0 years before most in this industry ever even knew it was an industry. But I would never go out there with, hey, I know a lot, so you should pay me. How about I deliver a lot? Well, what do you deliver? Can't be the same old thing.
I think that's an incredibly good point that you're making about the value that we're bringing and presenting that value to people. And that's one of the challenges we face as home inspectors is I think that's why some of them race to the bottom because they don't know how to present their value, and they might be an incredible home inspector, they just don't know how to present themselves to those particular clients. I see it in markets and I'm like, hey, how many inspections do this month? I didn't do much, and I'm sitting there going, this guy's uber technical. What the heck is going on here? This makes no sense. Why did they go with that other guy over there? And when I look at it and it's the presentation, they need to be shouting from the mountaintops like, hey, I know what I'm doing, I do it well, and I'm going to bring more value to the hour, or we're just going to over-deliver for you. And you tell me if you're mad at me for providing more than what you paid for.
Now I'm going to blow a lot of people's minds here, because at the same time that I talk about here's how you get to real profit, here's how you get huge volume, here's how we make our industry more valuable rather than less valuable, because it's losing money by the day. You know, that old adage about keeping money, you know, you're losing money whenever you have dollars in a bank account. You know, you got to invest it or own gold or whatever, you know, people go for. The inspection industry is like a single dollar in a bank account losing value year after year. And we don't even know it. We don't even realize it. We just let it happen. And that's why we need to push forward. And pushing forward means great package offerings. It means very reasonable prices for consumers to see, because they're never going to pay you because you're smart. That's foolish. But you need to have better profit margins so that you can expand and have a bigger company and have a real enterprise, and so you have enterprise value. Today there's 30,000 home inspection companies. I think there should be 5 to 10 tops. There's too many, because they're not companies, they're just jobs. Yeah. And you know, that's not good. There's no career path in home inspection, so there's less future for those that are in it today. They don't necessarily see it that way. Now on the flip side, you know, when you look at homeinspectionuniversity.com, that's our online school. We have CEs in most every state. We do our annual CE conference as well, all overseen by Mike Casey. You know, you look at the video quality there, we have probably 200 or 300 hours of videos on home inspection, business, technical, electrical, plumbing, you know, you name it, we got it all there. And it's very high quality stuff, but we focus on the technical in ways that most people wouldn't expect coming from me, because they hear me talking about business. Well, I talk about business because I want you guys to make money. My parents are home inspectors. You know, I grew up in that. And I remember the macaroni and cheese years. We don't want that for any of you. You know, I want your kids to have every opportunity that you can afford them, and I want you to be able to afford them any opportunity you want to. It's just, personally, it's near and dear to my heart. Yeah. But at the same time, we have to have an industry of very qualified individuals that are teaching good, technically proficient stuff. And here's a reality check. I've been in the business for going on 20 years next year. Mike Casey has been in the business since it started. You know, Alan Carson, same thing. Kenny's been around forever. Kenny Hart, the plumbing and HVAC guy. These guys are not going to be around forever. They may retire. They may stay here until the very bitter end. After that, who teaches home inspectors to do what they do? And how do we keep our industry to where it is as technically proficient as it is, and maybe even more so? So, you know, there is a value to that education, and that's what keeps our industry alive. Our integrity keeps our industry alive. Our separation between ourselves and the repair people for the issues that we find. I think we lose that ability to be a third-party independent inspector. We lose our industry. But I think there's clever ways that we can expand our businesses, expand our industry, and do great things. You won't find a single piece of information at Home Inspection University, which is free for everyone now. Like, there's no membership. You don't have to put in your credit card, nothing. You just go there, watch it, all free. There isn't a single piece there that I wouldn't recommend every inspector in America watch, and Canada for that matter.